There's some banging behind you. What are you?
I didn't.
Devil. Dude.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't move either.
Well, the devil just came right after us and I hear some banging behind you. Alright, so the devil is here with us today.
And nothing happened since.
I found his Ouija board, and I just threw it in the garbage. And a buddy of mine who knows a lady in Clinton, she's into crystals, and she said you can't just throw it out, you have to do a certain thing. So she came to my house and did her thing.
Yeah.
Since then, nothing's happened. Like
That's
I
awesome.
said, I don't know, is it coincidence or I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Ouija board that he had, was it like a bought one or one that he actually made it? He made it.
He ripped up a cardboard box, and wrote the letters
Yeah.
on it. I don't know what he used for
like the planchette thing,
Yeah.
the mover thing. Yeah. That's crazy. Did he show interest in like ghosts and your son paranormal stuff before you found the Ouija, or?
Like I said, he's told me that he was seeing demons and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
That's interesting. The lady from Clinton, do you know her? Like, do you know her name, or is there any way we could like?
Jackie is her name.
Jackie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has a store over there. She sells crystals and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Somebody like that would be good for us to talk to too.
So it's weird that nothing's happened since
Yeah, had the blessing or the
So did you know that lady before? Or like,
Jackie?
Yeah. So how did you find her?
Through a buddy of mine that's renting from me,
Mm-hmm.
from me, through him.
And she has a business in Clinton, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Journeys of the Soul.
Journeys of the Soul, okay.
So yeah, her name's Jackie, and
Yeah, we found it on Google. We'll probably give her a
when
ring.
you
Or...
talk to her, you know, you just mention my name.
Yeah.
and she knows.
Hi, you've reached Jackie at Journeys of the Soul. If you leave me your name and number and a detailed message, I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a great day.
Hi Jackie, my name is Steve. I'm from London, Ontario. We got your information from Andrew from Grand Bend. You had done a cleansing on his house. We're just wondering if we head out your way at some point in time, if you wouldn't mind to sit down and have like an interview with us. But just give me a call back.
Not bad, not bad. Just sitting in the shop here, but there's a few people here, so I missed your call there.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. Were you thinking of heading up this way today?
We could if you have time. We're in Grand Bend at the moment, so we can leave Grand Bend and head over to your way.
Okay, sure. You know where you're headed then? Do you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Andrew
just on
gave us
Highway 4.
the information, so
Okay, excellent.
perfect.
We tell him thank you.
So just to kind of clarify, I don't know if I left it on the message. Me and my friend are paranormal investigators from London.
Okay. Okay. No, you didn't say that.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I
Yeah.
left that on the message, but
Right.
we were looking. We had been talking to Andrew for the last little while about his place.
Okay.
He had texted us when you went over to his place to do the cleansing
Yeah.
that everything had stopped after that. So we're just wondering if we can kind of get like an interview of like the whole situation,
Sure. Yeah.
just to kind of see it from your like point of view of like
Yeah.
what was there and everything that you did to cleanse the place.
Okay. Yeah. I will. I'll be. I can tell you right now. Like it was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and I wasn't expecting until I don't know. It didn't seem like a big huge cleansing for me, but it seemed fairly we'd love to chat with you guys if you're still interested in coming down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We're headed over there
I was
right
like,
now.
it's funny, how things you think not a whole lot of, and then it just, becomes this bigger, bigger thing. But I was so happy when all this activity stopped for it, like all the stuff that was happening, whatever, it just kind of stopped. And I was like,
All right. Well, here we are in Clinton, Ontario, and we are at Journey of the Souls.
Journeys of the Soul.
Journey of the Soul. Nice. We're here with Jackie that performed the cleansing on Andrew's house in Grand Bend, which you just heard the interview just before this one, obviously. And yeah, we figured we'd come all the way out here and hear it from the horse's mouth, I guess you could say, like exactly what happened. So I guess we'll start off with and as I said, no pressure on if there's any questions you don't want to answer. We got no problem. Just let us know and we're cool with that. So we'll start off with how you met Andrew, I guess. You don't have to say specific names if somebody introduced you, but was it through a mutual friend or did you know him before?
Yeah, so I was visiting a friend that lived by Andrew's place, and they were friends or had connected, and when I had arrived, he just asked if I told me what was going on at Andrew's house, and he asked if I would go over and cleanse it for him. So I wasn't really prepared to do a cleansing or anything that day, but I did happen to have what I would call my medicine bundle or a bundle with me, and so I said, sure, I'll go over, check it out.
So it happened the day of. You're just going over. Nice.
We walked over.
No point in waiting, right?
No, yeah. So I didn't really know a whole lot going in.
Okay. And then so I'm guessing he contacted Andrew or she. And Andrew was fine with you coming over.
Yeah. He
and
said,
then
sure, come on over.
When you walked into his house, what did you feel?
I could feel a bit of a heaviness.
Okay.
For sure. That would be expected, I guess, to some degree, and just kind of introduced, right? Got to know him a little bit, and just sort of asked what's been happening, and he told me a bit of background, which he's already shared with you. So, there was a homemade Ouija board involved, I recall, actually. Just recalled that a minute ago. I was like, oh yeah, there was, I remember a Ouija board thing, like a cardboard, and they had a cardboard. And I believe he had thrown it out, or was just gonna, no, bring that back here and let me just check it out and just see. So I recall doing, initially, I think that was the first thing I addressed there. And so I tapped in and followed my medicines and did some cedar and stuff on there. I can't remember exactly.
No
Fortunately, I don't know how much I'll recall right now because
believe it or not,
a bit of a trance state.
The reason why we're recording most of the stuff we do is because by the time we get home, we don't remember half the stuff we did. We'll watch over the footage and be like, when did we do that?
Right.
So, but
yeah, I recall working with some of the, and in my bag I always have sage, cedar, the 4 medicines, right, sweetgrass, and tobacco. So at the time I did whatever I was called to sort of place, and I did a cleansing on it and made sure it was closed and whatever that needed to be done, and then he could put it in the fire and then burnt that, which was fine. And I remember saging him and his other son.
okay.
Only because he wanted to, because he was watching, right? So I was like, did you want something too? And he enjoyed that. And then I recall going around the house. And the dog, he had a dog there, and she glued to me through the whole thing. it was really cool. I was like, oh, you're coming to help me. Thank you. Keeping watch, right? Like animals are super helpers, super duper
I
helpers.
was gonna ask you that. Do you think that they have a sense to detect things that we probably can't?
Absolutely. Yeah. That most humans would miss or just miss.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she was like right by me. And then actually when I was in the one room that felt heaviest for me, and the area, there was a closet beside too. Anyhow, I remember going through and she literally stood at the door of that room. And then when I came through and went outside, she followed me the whole time. So she was my little helper that day, for sure.
That's cool.
That's why I like dogs.
Right.
He's got cats. They don't like to move around at all.
Right. And I think I recall too, and I haven't even had a chance to mention this to Andrew, but I don't think I did. I might have. I think I've only seen him a couple of times since. But it was kind of after I had done all like the cleansing and stuff.
Yep.
That he then told me about the other stuff at his work, which was right next door. And I was like, oh wow, that's pretty, that's active for sure. And I recall, I believe, even after, like when I was at home or something, I just sort of energetically I was like, maybe I should just make sure that things are clear. So I remember doing something afterwards too
For his work.
because I don't have to physically go
Yep.
to any spot, right?
Okay.
We can just do it from here. I can just sit here. Clear.
Easy work, baby.
Right? So, it's really been a journey.
So you did his house and his job then.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and then I hadn't actually even had a chance to talk to, but then I did find out from a friend and him, the next time that I was there, they had no activity and everything feels good. So I was like, oh yay, good. That's awesome. Right? So it's pretty informal.
that's
But,
basically what it comes down to. Hopefully whatever you do helps out the people that you're doing it for, right? So
absolutely.
now the main question that we originally talked to Andrew that I wanted to know was, because he told us about the Ouija board. Now, was the Ouija board used to contact a ghostly presence, or was it used to conjure up a demon?
Right. So I as you're asking that, the feeling that I got was basically maybe the intent that it was very inexperienced use.
Okay.
So I felt like they didn't get far with it, and that's why actually it was so simple, easy kind of for me to sort of just let's just make sure that there's nothing attached to it, or that whatever is going on here. That's what I'm recalling right now. Is that it felt like that may have been his intent, like whoever
conjure up
had
a demon,
made it, or to connect. I feel like more like right now, if I don't think I tapped into that before, but right now as I'm feeling that, I feel like he was just looking for this connection to help him, right?
Okay.
Do whatever he was, he was struggling. He was very much struggling, right? So I feel like he was using it to connect.
For sure.
Although he could have easily.
He just didn't know what he was trying to connect to.
He could have easily probably conjured demons without knowing what he was doing, right? And did he? I don't know. Close. It's close.
Close.
But I feel like it's close.
I feel like you, if it was like a full blown demon, you probably would have felt that.
I would know if that was
like,
in the presence,
exactly,
for sure.
So.
And I've been recently, like I said, gifted even more tools now that were not just of my intuition and whatever, my knowing and whatnot. Interestingly enough, for cleansing demons and entities out of houses and people. So
I was just gonna ask if she thought like the Ouija board was the reason behind the activity, but you guys kind of already touched on that a little bit.
yeah, it's always the user,
Mhm.
right? Like the
So
board itself. It's like a deck of cards, right? These cards are not any of the tools. There's more negative connotation or like lower vibrational connotation with the Ouija board because it's just been so Hollywooded in film, those types of things. But really, truthfully, it's like any other divination tool, and maybe it's a lot to do with the user and the energy behind how it's being used and what's
exactly.
done.
And that kind of leads me into my next question.
Of course it does.
I'm really good at this stuff. Do you believe the reason why the cleansing came so easily to you was the fact that after Andrew kicked out his son, whatever he had conjured up kind of mostly went with him and it didn't really stay in the vicinity?
That's interesting.
So basically the question would be like, do you think he's possessed by something, or was it kind of attached to the house per se, right?
I don't know that he, I guess if we look at maybe your definition of possession, right? So, because I believe people can be affected by spirit and entities to doing things, but not necessarily meaning that they're possessed. I'm writing another book? No. It's like, because my children all had experiences, right? And I can remember my son, you know, specifically in the reader medium, one of my teachers that I had received training from, one day was giving me a reading in our class, and then she told me and confirmed for me that my son, you know, things he didn't even know why he was doing certain things or not doing certain things, but it was like a spirit in the house that was kind of making him
controlling
do
him?
these things, right? And
like physically
instilling
controlling
that in
his
him.
body,
Let's say-
or just
let's
like
say instilling that in him. So
Okay.
instilling that thought into him to do that, or feeling, or whatever. And I can remember one time he was about 16, 17 maybe, and he told me what had happened after I got home. And he said went downstairs, and the moment that he set foot onto the basement, which was into his sister's room, right? So there was his sister's room, laundry room, and then furnace room in my basement. And so the moment he stepped onto the floor, he heard wet feet in the next room, like run through. And so then he ran upstairs crying, screaming, but he didn't know why he had gone downstairs. I was like, why were you going into Marley's room anyway? And you could see that he was being truthful, but he's like, I don't really know.